So, news from Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, as we certainly like to keep in touch with them. They have applied to the American Nurses Credentialing Center for the prestigious designation of Magnet. Now, Magnet designation recognizes excellence in nursing services. In February, soon, February's almost over. Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital is applying for redesignation. With all the details, she knows a whole lot more about this than I do, is the Chief Nursing Officer, Stefanie Roberts-Newman from Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. Thank you for joining us on The Splash today.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Good morning to you.
Good. Thank you for having me.
Well, no, it's really good to have you. I know you're taking time out of your busy schedule because, listen, without nurses, where would we be? You know, there's a lot of work that goes on in hospitals, but I hope you don't mind me saying this, but every time I'm in a hospital environment, I don't see anyone working any harder than the nurses. They're on the front line of care. We love you, nurses. Bravo. It isn't an easy job, but I understand you could tell me it's a rewarding one.
It is. It's very rewarding. And I have to say, here at West Bloomfield, I feel I have some of the best nurses out there working right here, taking very, very good care of patients every day. So it's great.
Well, we know that to be true. We really appreciate having the Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital here right in our own backyard. Such a great institution, getting better every day. And this magnet designation, tell people about it. I think, we've all heard it, but I'm not so sure that people understand the meat and potatoes of what this means and how important it is.
Okay, so the first thing I'd like to tell you is that this started many, many years ago. The late 80s, early 90s is when this started. And it was during a very bad time for nursing. It was a huge nursing shortage. There were a few hospitals on the West Coast and Southwest who actually did not have any issues recruiting nurses and had very good patient outcomes. Those facilities were studied by nurse researchers from the East Coast, and they found that the nurses had autonomy. They felt empowered to take care of patients and work their practice the way they felt it needed to be done. They had good relationships with their leadership. So everyone wanted to know what they were doing, and they wanted to do some of the same things that they were doing. They were growing professionally, getting advanced degrees, all of those good things that make good nurses. They called it Magnet because they felt those were the things that were attracting nurses to these particular facilities, and to a point where they didn't have any issues during the worst nursing shortage of our time, basically. So they began to say, if nurses met these criteria, if hospitals met these criteria with nursing, that they were magnet facilities.
Well, Stefanie Roberts-Newman, so help me out here because I'm ignorant about the term magnet. That's why we do the show, to learn. Did this start with the nursing industry? Because we got magnet schools, we got magnet everything now. Did this actually start with the nursing industry?
I'm not sure whether the magnet schools took a page from our book or not, but I know for nursing, it started in the late 80s, early 90s. So, and it is, what attracts nurses to hospitals, i.e. the term magnet. So.
Well, you mentioned a moment ago some of the characteristics of what makes a great nurse. You talked about education and all the other things. It's pretty conspicuous to us, but, got to be on that list also are people that are passionate and really care about their job. And especially as we come on the back of COVID, there must have just been some horrendous days for nurses in hospitals over the past several years. And I don't know how you make it through that kind of a struggle without a deep inner belief that you love what you're doing and it's important.
Correct. You know, here, I came here about 2 weeks before the pandemic started. And one of the things that I always tell people, what drew me here, and I'm from South Georgia, was the nurses and the people that work here. So everyone here at West Bloomfield Hospital, they're very good. They're very passionate about caring for patients. They want the best for patients at all times, no matter what. And that really was the type of culture that I wanted to go to work in, right? So, in order to be magnet, you have to be passionate about the nursing profession. You have to want to grow and develop. You have to want to have an impact on your practice on an everyday level, and be willing to take it not only here at this organization, but at the system level as well as the community level and regionally and nationally. So we have nurses that present at national conferences. We have nurses that present at regional conferences. We want what we do from a practice perspective here at West Bloomfield Hospital to be out in the community. So we really want to be trailblazers in ensuring quality patient care.
Stefanie Roberts-Newman is joining us. She is the Chief Nursing Officer at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, joining us here on The Splash this morning. Thank you so much for being with us. It's a privilege. I could talk with you all day long because issues about our health are so important to our community, and there's so much amazing work going on within the walls of your fine hospital here in West Bloomfield. We really appreciate everything that's going on there. Talk to me a little bit about this program, because I understand there is a citizen, a community component to this program. Is that correct?
That is correct. There is a portion of the survey, and it's a 3 day long survey, and they're here for 8 hours each day, where they have community partners come in and speak with the appraisers, is what they call them. They have them come in and speak with them. Generally, it's every day. There's a session, and it's for about 45 minutes each day. They just sit there and wait for people to come in. Sometimes there are people that come in, sometimes not, but they are there to interview people. We also have community partners that we work with all the time that we have on the agenda so that they can speak to those people we work with on a regular basis. But they are here to talk about nursing and how nursing is involved in the community, how nursing is involved in patient care. If anyone has had any interactions, been patients here, they want to hear what the community thinks about this hospital and the nurses that are here working.
And Ms. Roberts-Newman, do we have all the people from the community we need to engage in this program? Or are you still looking for some people to participate?
Anybody who wants to participate in our survey is welcome to come out to Henry Ford West Bloomfield. The appraisers will be here February 28th, 29th, and March 1st. So you can always come out. It is listed in our community papers on the internet. We have signs up here in the hospitals, all the entrances. So you are very welcome to come out and speak to an appraiser at any time.
What a beautiful thing to do for people in the community, especially people that have been served by your facility, that have a direct experience that they can share, and certainly give your hospital an opportunity, and I'll say our hospital here in West Bloomfield, an opportunity to shine. So I think I already know the answer to this question, Stefanie, if you don't mind me. Stefanie Roberts-Newman from Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, the Chief Nursing Officer. I think I already know the answer to this question, but if you're at the beginning of your career and you're just starting out and trying to figure out what your vocation's going to be in your lifetime, is nursing still high on that list for a lot of people, and maybe any other personal experiences you want to share?
Yeah, I will say nursing is the most trusted profession in the country again. And what I will tell you is that when I became a nurse, I never dreamed that I would be the chief nursing officer at Henry Ford West Bloomfield. I never dreamed that I would be, a director of nursing. I wanted to take care of patients. That was my passion. It still is my passion. I just do it in a different way. So I would say there are many different ways you can be a nurse and enjoy and live out your passion for caring for people. We have nurses that are involved in IT. So we have nursing informaticists. We have nurses that are involved in infection prevention. We have nurses that are involved in wound care. So there are many different areas of nursing that you can get involved in without actually taking care of patients every day. So it's one of those fields that brings a lot of satisfaction to you, that has many different aspects of care that you can be involved in. So I hear people say all the
Well,
time, they don't like blood, they don't want to give shots, they don't want to do that. There is some of that in nursing when you first start, but I will tell you, it's probably one of the most rewarding jobs I've ever had. And it is so diverse that you don't have to stay there. So,
yeah, well, that is a good sales pitch for
yeah.
anybody that's watching that is trying to make a career decision, and it's important because unless something has changed in the last 6 months, there's still a shortage of nurses. As far as I know, most hospitals are happy when they can find a new recruit. There are more jobs than there are nurses right now. Correct?
That is correct. One of the things and that makes us, to me, a magnet organization is that even when we lose nurses, we are very fortunate in that we can recruit very quickly and replace those positions. So while nursing is going through a bit of a shortage right now, especially after the pandemic, a lot of people decided they wanted to retire, or maybe this just wasn't for them. Um, it it made it difficult for us, but we've been able to recruit and retain nurses here at West Bloomfield. And the reason why we've been able to do that is because number one, Henry Ford Health is a good system for nurses to work in. And Henry Ford West Bloomfield is a good environment within that health system to work in. We have great leaders here, and the folks that you would be working with here at Henry Ford West Bloomfield are fantastic, and they're fantastic caregivers.
All right. Well, hey, good job. This is fun. I could talk nursing all day. We got just a minute or two more. There must be something else in your mind that I didn't ask you about today that you feel, with your expertise and knowledge and brilliance in nursing, that the community might be interested in knowing. Stefanie Roberts-Newman,
Mhm.
the stage is
I think
yours.
Yeah, I think for the community, for them to know that Magnet really does encourage our nurses to be better at what they do and to never stop learning. I think that's important for the community to know. So you are looking at the best and the brightest nurses when you walk into a Magnet organization. Specifically here at West Bloomfield, it makes a huge difference in your care. They are passionate about it, they are caring, they are compassionate and kind people. It's a wonderful place to be in when you're in a magnet organization. I've been in three other places that received magnet designation and they were redesignated. And it's some of the best care you can get from some of the best nurses in the country. And less than 5% of hospitals in this country are magnet designated. So,
Well, we got a great community. We got a great community. I could see why the nursing department is doing so well, obviously under good leadership. Thank you, and extend our thanks to everyone at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. You've been there when our staff needs you, and I'm sure in the event that people watching today are in need, you will be on guard for them. Thank you very much, and extend my greetings to everybody on campus over there. All right?
all right. Thank you for having me. Have a good weekend.